expand our minds and make us all think, of course. You know how we like to do things. Make our minds go beyond and remember the spark of our divine. And today that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the lion escaping the matrix. So take a deep breath with me, first of all. And just hold it. And let it go. Just arrive. Be right here. And let yourself arrive here fully, as you are. And it doesn't matter what time you've come on to this, whether it's now, later, afternoon, because time is a construct we created anyways. It's the right time, is what this is. You're ready for this. You're tired of the loops. So, because this is not just another teaching, this is continuation from the journey of yesterday. We spoke about the prison of the mind, and today we're going to speak about the one who gets to escape it, the one who gets to walk free from it, the one who can observe and see the realities of what's really going on. And that's what we're here today for. So welcome. So yesterday, what did we go into? We talked about how we have this prison system, but I also said how we're not only the prisoners, we are the prison guards with the keys. But what most of the time we don't even realize, we hold the keys in our hands this entire time. We've been so taught to look external. So today we're going to speak about the one who escapes this prison system. The lion. The one who was never truly broken, only buried beneath all the shit. The one who was never truly lost, only covered. The one who was never truly powerless, only conditioned to forget. We were conditioned to forget who we truly are. And today, we're going to talk about how to remember again. How to get free of the loops, the trauma, the chaos. And maybe that is where many of us are right now. We're trying to get loose from the chaos. We're trying to get rid of it. Not destroyed, not erased, not gone. But we've been asleep. We've been all asleep. See, we forgot who we are. And the world has been sending loops to make us forget too, and sending all these different signals to make us forget. But the awakening begins when we stop asking, what is wrong with me? And we start asking, what was I taught to believe about myself? Because you see, the matrix is not just outside of us. It is also inside of us. It is a network of belief, fears, assumptions, trauma, responses, identity, wounds, and inherited stories. See, and today we are going to look at what happens when the lion remembers. See, the word matrix can mean a structure, a womb, a system that shapes formation. And that is exactly what a human life often is. See, we are born into environments that begin shaping us immediately. Family shapes us. Culture shapes us. Religion shapes us. Schools shape us. Trauma shapes us. Language, culture shapes us. The world around us shapes us. The things spoken to us shape us. But by the time we are old enough to ask questions, many of our conclusions have already been installed. And we're not even asking the questions, or even the right ones. And psychology knows this. We develop patterns through repetition. And the world's been repeatedly teaching you what you know. The mind looks for safety and familiarity. And even when familiarity is painful, it still looks for it. So sometimes a person stays in a harmful pattern because that's all they know. Even when that pattern has been broken off them, even when that person or the things that gave those patterns are gone, they will then continue the pattern onto themselves. So sometimes a person stays in a harmful pattern not because they love pain, but because their nervous system recognizes the pain as normal. And that is one of the deepest prisons. But let me have you know that you got the key. You got it. It's okay. See, it's not just suffering, man. But it's calling suffering home. And that ain't home. You're so much more than that. And this is why awakening matters. Because if you never question what shaped your perception in the first place, you will mistake conditioning for truth. You'll call fear wisdom. You'll even call shame humility. You'll call silence peace. But you will call survival identity. But the lion was not made to live as a captive inherited by fear. And that's what you are, that divine spark within you. That divine spark within you is who you really are. It's just been covered in shit and you forgot it. Now let's bring in even science and quantum physics. So quantum physics and science does not need to be used as magical language. It proves that this is exactly the same things. It can be used to show the reality and possibilities and observation that we've discovered. See, the quantum level matters behaves in ways that challenges our ordinary assumptions and the way we ordinarily thought science and the world worked. And what we've discovered is observation matters. What we observe within ourselves is what the external will show us. Probability exists before certainty, and the unseen holds potential before it becomes visible. And that is powerful. That means you hold the potential to change what is the outcome. Because spirituality that mirrors life. Before a person becomes who they are, there is usually an unseen inner field of possibilities. And before a new identity is lived, it is first carried as a seed. And before the healing is visible, it begins as an inner shift. And before freedom becomes external, it begins in consciousness. So when we say the lion escapes the matrix, we are not only talking about leaving a system. We are talking about collapsing false possibilities and stepping into true potential. And in that way, the mind matters. What you repeatedly observe in yourself becomes reinforced. And what you continuously focus on begins to organize your inner world. If your focus is fear, your life becomes organized around threat. If your focus is truth, your life begins to organize around clarity. And this is why awareness is not passive awareness, it is creative. See, psychology tells us something important is people do not just act from what is happening now. They often act from memory associated on wound. A person who carries criticism as a child, they may become hypervigilant as an adult. A person who has survived chaos may struggle with peace because peace feels unfamiliar. They'll even create the chaos for themselves. They'll punish themselves. A person who was shamed may live with an inner voice that attacks them before anyone else can. This is not weakness, this is pattern. And pattern can be changed. This is the good news. You are not doomed to repeat the script just because you inherited it. You can learn to interrupt the loop. And you can learn to witness the thought without becoming the thought. You're not your thoughts. See, you can learn to feel the emotion without obeying it. You can learn to say, this is an old response. This is not the whole truth. This is a memory, not a prophecy. See, that is how the lion begins to rise, is because not by pretending there was no wound, but by refusing to let the wound become the throne. And nature shows us this beautifully. You see, a seed goes into darkness before it even grows. A seed has to be hidden first. And a butterfly must break through the cocoon. And before that, it's a caterpillar to chrysalis, to the goo, to the butterfly. And a tree withstands storms, winter droughts, yet still reaches towards the sun. And nature does not rush the process of becoming. It honors transformation. It knows that what is hidden is not always lost. And sometimes the root system is doing the real work before the fruit appears. And that is true in human life too. There are seasons when nothing visible seems to be happening at all. But beneath the surface, something is changing. The nervous system is learning safety, and the heart is learning trust, and the mind is learning discernment, and the soul is learning remembrance. So do not despise the hidden seasons. The lion is often forming a silent pause. That's it. Just silence. And there's something else nature shows us. Every living thing responds to environment. A plant in poor soil struggles. A plant in good soil flourishes. This is true for people too. You are not what you were born with. You are also what you have. You are also what you have been planted in. And if you were planted in trauma, chaos, or deception, that does not mean that is your final home. It just means what you were surrounded around. It only means you may need to be transplanted into truth. That's it. See, awakening, we call awakening from ignorance, remembering the divine spark, the seeing through the illusions. And that is what this journey is about. Not becoming something new in the shallow sense, but remembering what was always there, right there all this time. See, the lion does not become the lion by force. The lion awakens to its nature. That is the shift. The truth is not that you are trying to become worthy. The truth is that you are always carrying something sacred this whole time. You may have forgotten it. The world may have covered it. Trauma may have obscured it. But it was not erased. This world can be experienced as a veil, a distortion, or a false system of perception. And that is so important, because the prison is often not the event itself. It is the interpretation. It is the misidentification. It is the false self. It is the inner agreement with lies. And when a person says, I am broke, they may be speaking from pain, not truth. When a person says, I am not far gone, they may be speaking from exhaustion, not truth. And when a person says, this is all I am, they may be speaking from condition, not essence. The agnostic's path asks, what if that is not who you are? What if the real you is still present beneath the noise? What if the deeper self has been waiting for your attention? Let's talk about the body. Because the mind does not just live alone. The body keeps score. The body remembers and the body reacts. And when something lives in chronic stress, the nervous system can stay in survival mode. And that means the body may become braced, guarded, tired, or reactive. And sometimes people think they are weak when they are actually overwhelmed. Sometimes they think they are lazy when they are actually depleted. Sometimes they think they are failing when their body simply needs safety. And this is why healing cannot be only spiritual language. It must be embodied. So breathe, rest, walk in nature, drink water, slow down, and notice your thoughts. Notice your body. Notice what calms you and what agitates you. And notice the lion does not roar constantly. Sometimes the lion is simply still. And stillness is not surrender. Stillness can be strength. So, how does the lion escape the matrix? Not by fighting the shadows with more shadows. Not by becoming louder than the lies. Not by trying to control every outcome. The escape begins with discernment. So start asking these questions instead. What is actually true here? What is mine? What was given to me? What did I absorb? What am I believing without checking? Then pause. Then breathe. Then return to the present, because the present moment is where truth becomes accessible. You see, the matrix feeds on distraction, fear, and unconscious repetition. Awareness interrupts all three. And once awareness enters, the spell begins to break. You may still have thoughts, don't get me wrong. They happen. But now you can see them for what they are. You may still feel fear even. But now you know it is not the whole reality. You may still hear the old voice, but now it no longer has final authority. That is escape. The lion escapes the matrix is not by becoming something false. You are not here to be ruled by every thought. You are here to live as you are not here to live as a prisoner of old pain. You are not here to keep repeating a story that no longer serves your soul, your being. You are here to awaken, to observe, to remember, to return. Because the kingdom is within. The spark is right here within. The truth is within. And the lion rises when the inner lie loses its throne. So take a breath and lift your head and remember, you were never only the cage. You were always the one meant to walk out of it. So take those keys and turn it. Peace and love. We'll see you guys next time.